everybody. I wanted to talk to you briefly about the astrology of the next 10 days. So that is roughly from the 6th of April to the 16th when the full moon in Libra happens. So I hope everybody's doing well. We've had quite a month. There's a lot of sort of up and down energies, and some are favorable, some are a little bit challenging. And as always, it depends on your personal chart. So I always want to mention that because when I speak, I'm speaking about collective, the impact collectively and not, of course, individually, because we all have a unique connection to the planetary energies. So we're still in dominating Aries energy as we've got the sun there. It's Aries season. We've got Mercury there as well as Chiron, which has been there for a long time. And so, all these three are in close proximity to one another. So there may be that activated, impulsive Aries energy coming through for us. So we want to be mindful of taking a pause in our thoughts, in our actions, especially if they're coming from a place of hurt, from a place of trauma. That would be the Chiron there. So definitely think about taking that breath and taking that pause when things feel a little fiery or heated within you. So if we're mindful of those shadow moments, there's so much good that can come from this moment. Aries energy really helps push us through our fears, through obstacles. So we may find ourselves more bold in the ways in which we see our circumstances and want to address them and take action towards our desires, towards our needs, towards our goals. This is some of the things about Aries that is so important. It's about reminding ourselves not to negate those very desires and needs that are part of who we are. So we're in this type of vibe until the 10th of April when Mercury moves into Taurus, which brings us that much needed pause and that much needed foundational way of thinking, communicating in a more practical way, in a more focused way, in that way that Taurus paces itself because it wants to look at the end game. It's all about that marathon mentality with Taurus, right? And very foundational. So I feel that this will be super supportive for us as it will be leading to more tangible outcomes that are based on this crucial pace that is unique for each of us. So it's kind of perfect because while the sun in Aries really pushes us to, shine beyond our fears and to prioritize ourselves and our desires and our goals, Taurus will help us be foundational about what we're striving for. It'll help us be practical in the steps that we take, and it'll help slow us down and give us that right pace we need. So at this point, we're a few days away from this grand conjunction that a lot of astrologers have been talking about. This is the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, and it happens in Pisces only every 150 years or so. So this is a really big deal. It's a highly auspicious moment for us. This alignment hasn't happened since 1856. The next time it happens, it'll be in 2188. So this is kind of a once in a lifetime experience of the energies of these planets. So what does this mean? In the most beautiful expression of itself, this conjunction, this alignment is about immense moment of spiritual awakening. It is about spiritual alignment, both collectively and individually. This is a time where we can access infinite love, compassion of the divine. We're connected to our imagination and other realms of existence in a very amplified way. So I've also talked about the shadow aspects of this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which can bring illusions and delusions into sort of some area of our life. We may not have clarity in our thinking. We may be caught up in the realm of fantasy. What is real? What is fiction? We may have trouble discerning. As well, I feel collectively we may see a rise in like false prophets and prophecies and extreme sort of conspiracy thinking that is sort of rooted in complete delusions. As well, we may see more phony healers and just that sort of thing. So I would really encourage everybody to, practice discernment and to find grounding. And I think that, having that Mercury in Taurus will really keep us steady as we go through this alignment. So you're probably already feeling this conjunction, the influence of it. Perhaps you've been having more dreams. I know I have been having some sort of unusual dreams, more vivid dreams. As they're moving in close proximity, we're going to really feel it starting now until the exact conjunction on April 12th. So perhaps you'll feel more spiritually inclined or spiritually motivated or connected. It's a great time to move into more creative and imaginative work, or just being in that realm. I recommend you look at where the cusp of Pisces is in your chart and see what area of your life is receiving the blessings of this conjunction, and as well be mindful of some of the shadow things that I mentioned as well. So a couple of days after the conjunction, Mars joins Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, so we have this sort of dominating Pisces energy, which is great. We have it for the rest of the month, and really it furthers our desire for spiritual connection and for healing. And so the second half of April is a great time for heart-centered healing practices, especially energy work like Reiki and Sakem. If you're interested in learning about these healing practices, you should. It would be an opportune time to kind of learn how to self-heal and connect with the self-healer, the healer within yourself. And all this is perfect because we'll be approaching a couple days later the full moon in Libra, which may be a more activating full moon. So this square to Pluto is going to really bring the intensity and the waves of emotions. And with the moon in Libra, we're kind of dealing with relationships. So this is relationships to ourselves, relationships to others we know, whether this is romantic, whether it's business partnerships, whether it's just like super close friendships. So Libra, amongst many things that it represents, is also about relationships and learning the lessons of balance and harmony. And its opposition to Aries reminds us that while compromise is important, so is honoring our needs, our desires, and our truth. So here is where the balance lies. And I think this full moon is really going to bring up some of those issues and perhaps some power control issues in our relationships that we need to look at, and perhaps some even deeper sort of difficult, maybe even traumatic things that are going to uproot with this in the context of relationships and self and others. So it could be a tender moment for many of us. And I would say especially so for folks with placements, significant placements, meaning sun, moon, and rising sign in Libra. And at 26 degrees of Libra, especially near that degree or on that degree specifically. And also other cardinal signs. So Libra is a cardinal sign, and so is Capricorn, Aries, and Cancer. So if you have significant placements in those charts, you may also feel the immense tensions of this full moon, illuminating some important truths for you, some perhaps difficult truths. I will have more on this moon, so be sure to subscribe, follow my videos here on YouTube. I'll probably speak a little bit more about this moon here, as well as on my Instagram. And if you're a patron of my Tier 3 Patreon, of course, you will get your readings the day before the full moon. And if you are not, you might want to consider joining, because you'll also have access to my monthly cosmic forecast, my astrological forecast, as well as a calendar that you can print. And also other things like discounts on my services and whatnot. So feel free to contact me for more information about that. And I look forward to chatting with you on here next, and wish you a blessed week until the full moon, and bye for now.